Yes, people, welcome back to GNA TV and Chelsea Fan TV for our third show in a row, third collab show in a row as well. Big up to every single one of you guys that are here at the moment. We're here to discuss all of the news in and around Raphinha, Dembele, a bit of Neymar news we heard today. Kounde's come out with a bit of news as well. De Ligt. There's a lot of things we're going to be going through. There's a lot of things we're going through. We are going to open up the line states. One of them shows today where we go through everything. We talk about it. We give our points of views. Anything breaks in the meantime, we will share it as well. And we are going to open up the lines today as well and get you guys involved in the chat because I want to hear what you guys have to say as well. It'll be good to hear you guys. We've had Ben Jacobs on already. We've had Piers on already. You know, there will be other individuals that will be coming on as well later on in the summer window. But yeah, we are still starved and we are still waiting for the announcements, the pending announcements of Chelsea signing Sterling, Raphinha news, which is up in the air. We're going to talk about it in a bit, and others. But make sure, guys, that you're smashing that like button. Let's get this over 200 likes on both GNA TV and Chelsea Fan TV. Let's try and get that if we can. But before we move forward, let's cue the intro. Yes, people, welcome back to GNA TV. I hope you guys are well, wherever it is that you may be around the world. And welcome back, GNA TV fans. Welcome back Chelsea Fan TV people as well. Nice to see you all tuned in as well. We will go through the chat first, as obviously we want to see how everyone's doing as always. Get people's thoughts and feelings. Are you stressed at the moment, guys? Are you... How are you feeling at the moment with Chelsea? Like... How are you all feeling at the moment? I want to know. Charlie, big up to you. Gav, big up to you. We've got Chelsea Fan TV in the house doing a vid tonight. Mackie's doing a vid tonight and maybe tomorrow morning also. Make sure you check that out. Yeah, come and check me out, GNA TV. So Chelsea Fan TV, guys, if you haven't checked out my channel, please do. Also, GNA TV followers, go and check out Chelsea Fan TV as well. We are aired currently on both channels as we speak and have done the last 3 shows, trying to keep it consistent, you know, trying to keep bringing you guys streams, shows. You know, it's going to be an interesting one today. Messi, big up to you. FZ City, Chelsea fan. Hacking with Martin. Nice to see you, bro. Nice to see you. Wheezy's in the house. Sean says, is Raphinha not happening? Well, we're going to talk about that in a bit. Neymar, let's go. We're talking about Neymar a bit later as well. Big up to CFC Pez Lord. Nice to see you. Gem Fan TV. George Foot, big up to you, mate. Daniel. Dembele, we're going to be talking about him as well. CFC Blues. Andreas, nice to see you, mate. Nice to see you in the house. Hope you're all good. M3, nice to see you. Ben Roberts, nice to see you in the house as well. Todd Bowley, mate, what are you doing here? You should be sorting yourself out, mate. Go and get us some players. We're starving out here. Us Chelsea fans are starving out here. Go and sort us out some signings, man. Hamco, nice to see you as well. Michael, there are so many people, over 210 combined at the moment in the chat already. DJ Savjay, big up to you, bro. Grey Wall Stinner. Pedro Neves, Chelsea fan. Mate, there's so many of you. Princeton. Dills, nice to see you. Bex, nice to see you, Bex. It's been a while since I've seen Bex in the house. Nice to see you as well. Big up to everyone, man. Big up to every single one of you guys that are tuned in. Currently, we have over 100 people on GNA TV here at the moment. So let's keep this. If everyone's in here now, please hit the like button. And on the Chelsea Fan TV side, we've got over 120 of you guys with 45 likes as well. Lines will be open later in the show, but we're here to review some of the news that we've heard today. And I'm hoping while I'm live, we'll learn a little bit more on other things, i.e. Raphinha and Dembele and things like that. So let's see what happens. But I want to start off with this. Let's get into it. Let's start. I want to start off with this. And it's news in and around, even though which one am I looking at? This one here. De Ligt. Because we spoke to Ben Jacobs yesterday on the channel, on both channels. And he made it very clear that Juventus want the money. However, they were interested in the likes of either Jorginho or Christian Pulisic. Now, in recent weeks, we've heard that Timo Werner was being linked as one of the options, but it seems that Juventus favour one of the two. Now, we're hearing that Juventus, from their original price of around 100 to 20 million euros, have now reduced that fee or reduced that figure due to the request of the player trying to force a move out. And it seems like he's pretty much, say destined, pretty much looking good to potentially becoming a Chelsea player. He seems to be interested in Chelsea. There's a comment here that players put up, big up to him, says De Ligt seen on holiday in Greece by one of CFC Away Days' followers. And the question was to him, will you come to Chelsea? De Ligt answered that with, then started laughing and said, I don't know, we will see. And it seems to feel like the same sort of thing with Jules Kounde. I don't know if you guys remember a couple weeks ago, maybe even a month ago, Jules Kounde was seen in London, and there was an individual Chelsea fan that actually had a picture with Jules Kounde and asked the same question, and again laughed and said, we'll have to wait and see what happens. It seems like he's trying to, what I would say is that the chairman of Juventus has come out and made it very clear that they won't hold him. They won't hold him here. So the right price, if he wants to go, he can go. And it does fall down to the sort of fine margins of Chelsea actually having to get this right, because they will want cash. They will want cash from us. But it's what player do they want? I feel with Christian Pulisic, there's a lot more value in him than maybe Jorginho. Obviously, Jorginho on the sort of latter end of his last year of his contract with Chelsea as well, and obviously being over 30 as well. So I feel that if they did request Jorginho, they would probably have to lay a lot more cash down to get this deal done. So it's going to be an interesting one to see how it moves and where it moves on De Ligt. But it's looking promising with him. It is looking promising. I would like to get your thoughts and opinion, guys, in the chat. How do you see De Ligt to Chelsea? How do you see De Ligt to Chelsea? Is it something that you guys want to see happen? Please let me know in the chat. Or do you have other preferences, other centre-backs that you prefer to come in? We are going to do a little bit later on a FIFA squad builder, actually, later in the show, and we'll open up the lines as well to get people involved in this as well. And it's just to give us sort of an idea of what we can do with the players that would be linked and how we could potentially see Thomas Tuchel lining up at a later stage as well. So stay tuned for that, because we will be getting into that later on in the show. I need Dembele more than Raphinha. I feel a lot of people are starting to pull that way now, and we're going to talk about it. De Ligt would be good, I think, is what Heike with Martin saying. What De Ligt does give Chelsea is he gives us the option to be able to alternate between formations, and something that Chelsea do not have, or have, something that Chelsea haven't currently got with the current crop of players is having players that are able to adapt to different systems. And you see me speak about it a lot on these shows. So, I feel that if we can get players that allow us to switch systems, and obviously there's this comment here today, and this is a news in today, about De Ligt is impressed by Thomas Tuchel's ability to coach the best out of defenders. His admiration of Tuchel has put Chelsea in the driving seat to sign him. Negotiations have started positively, which is, again, good news from our standpoint. And he's right, because from what we've seen of Thomas Tuchel in such a short space of time at Chelsea, is that he's managed to get the best out of players that are maybe just bang average. And I'm not talking about Rudiger, because Rudiger, maybe I am talking about Rudiger as well, actually, to be fair. Rudiger, Christensen, Jorginho, all these individuals who a lot of Chelsea fans, once Frank Lampard had left, were looking at and thinking, they ain't cut up for this. Like, they need to go. We need to improve. He comes in and then manages them very well and finds a system that kind of suits them. The issue with that was that we had a system that suited them, but he couldn't really adapt to different systems because they just can't do it. They don't have that versatility. And why De Ligt is so important to what probably Chelsea want to do moving forward is that he gives us the opportunity to switch the system into a back four at a later stage, or if it's the back four that we want to start with, and even play in the back three. I know some people feel that maybe the back three won't suit him or certain players that we are looking at, but I feel that it could potentially be something that we could can see happening. So it's interesting with De Ligt. I am looking forward to him. Kounde's too expensive. Could sign Ake and Koulibaly is what Burger King Yummy's saying. De Ligt adds leadership to the squad, even though he's still very young himself. And that is true. That is true. He does, for someone so young, and you think about his experience. This guy's was at Ajax. He then goes on to Juventus. He then goes on to Juventus, played for one of the biggest teams in European football, and he's still only at the age of 22. He was born in 1999. So the fact that you look at his CV and you look at how young he is, and you look at how many, you look at his experience in playing with Juventus and the players that he's played next to. I'm talking about the bagful experiences that he's had with Chiellini and Bonucci and all of these guys that he's been around over the periods that he's been at Juventus. This does make it look a very attractive signing for Chelsea. Young, still got a good 10 years behind him, easily 10 years, and he possesses the ability to lead. And the one thing that Thomas Tuchel can do with these players is get the best out of them. Is definitely get the best out of them. Do I feel that De Ligt is something that will happen? I'm going to rate it out of 10 how I feel about it. I would probably say I'm about 7 out of 10 strong on De Ligt coming to Chelsea. Or out of 100%, say 70% straight that I think he will come to Chelsea. Things can change. Other people can get involved. We've already heard that Man City are already interested potentially in the likes of De Ligt as well. Will it happen? Will they get involved? Will they get involved? We'll have to wait and see. Some people are asking me, are the lines open? Yes, the lines will be open on today's show as well. So we have to see what happens moving forward with De Ligt. It's going to be interesting to see how this transpires, who goes out the door. Christian Pulisic potentially looking like what I feel is probably the one that could potentially go that way. Although Juventus are also interested in Jorginho, maybe we'll give them both. Maybe we'll give them both. Who knows? 5 out of 10 is what Matty's saying. He feels like he's a 5 out of 10 signing. He's not 100% sure. And then Barcelona are screwing themselves. Barcelona are screwing themselves. They're screwing. Barcelona at the moment are fucking up football. They are literally. You got De Jong wanting to go Man United. You got Kounde wanting Chelsea, but they're sort of flirting with the idea of getting him in. They've already completely and utterly done Dembele over by giving him one contract and then giving him another, which was less than his original contract. They've jumped out of the block for Raphinha when it looked like he was certain last minute and tried to pull him their way. What else they can do? They can't sign. They still haven't signed Lewandowski because they've offered them 40 million euros, but they still can't get him across the line. Like, what are they doing? They are just a shambles. They are a shambles, and they're causing problems at the moment for many teams. Trust me. Chelsea should make our back line Silva, De Ligt, Ake, or Silva, De Ligt, James. I feel it should be Silva, De Ligt, Kounde. Personally, that's, and again, this goes down to preferences for many. It definitely goes down to preferences for many. Right, guys, we've got nearly 200 people on the Chelsea Fan TV side, guys. Only 66 likes. Let's get them up. Lines will be open a bit later on. I want to hear from you guys today as well. We're just flying through some of the news in and around Chelsea today and hoping while I'm live that there may be some breaking at the same time. GNA TV side, 250 of you guys here. Big up to every single one of you guys. We've only got 63 likes though. Let's get this over the 100 like mark as quickly as possible and close the gap to 200 likes, which is the main aim of this show today. Big up to Sam in the house as well. Koulibaly, Silva, De Ligt is her choice. I want a back four is what Zach's saying. De Ligt. Okay, cool. You want De Ligt. Raphinha is a waste of money is what Sherry's saying. They can't register players, mate. Christensen, Kessie are all still waiting. Well, they've passed the first phase, from what we understand. The second phase will allow them, whatever that second phase is, will allow them to then register players and probably help fund certain transfers and wages and structures and things like that. So we'll have to see what happens at a later stage. Big up to Jacob in the house as well. Nice to see you. Guys, do your fingers hurt that badly? Smash that like. Yeah, man, innit? That thumb's looking at you. That little thumb is looking at you guys. And we've got 475 in total combined people here at the moment. So big up to all of you guys. Let's move on to keep on to the defense and let's move on to the man himself, the guy that I've wanted for a long time. When I find him. How can I find him? This is the problem when you have too many tabs open. Oh, there we go. There we go. I think this is the one. Jules Kounde. So we had some news on Jules Kounde today, and it says Chelsea's representatives were in Seville for 3 days trying to negotiate a deal for Jules Kounde, but no agreement was struck, and they returned to London yesterday. Sevilla wants 60 million euros plus 10 million add-ons as well. Sevilla are just, I'm going to be damn right honest right now. Sevilla are just dicks as well. So Sevilla are just dicks as well. They honestly, like, they're another bunch of hard people to negotiate with. They have Monchi as a sporting director, who's an absolute nightmare to try and get deals done with at the moment. And he's making life an absolute nightmare. He's really making life an absolute nightmare for Chelsea to try and get anything done. And it's very obvious that Chelsea want Jules Kounde. It's very obvious that Chelsea want Jules Kounde, but it's just getting the deal done. You know, it's just trying to get the deal done. And I think Chelsea are probably offering him, if not my honest opinion, reading that, I think we've probably gone in at around probably 50 to 55 million euros, probably with add-ons on it as well. And they're just holding up. But the thing is, this is the biggest issue with the Kounde thing at the moment, is that, yeah, there's interest from Barcelona, but they can't buy everyone. They can't buy Kounde. They can't buy Raphinha. They can't buy Lewandowski. They've got registered Kessie. They've got Christensen. You know, they're talking about Art. I read today they're talking about Artur as well. Like, there's so many different players that are supposedly linked to a club that are not in a position to do much at the moment. And then, you know, on the flip side of it, you've got Sevilla who are there, just holding out for what they want, a bit like last season. If you guys remember the story with Jules Kounde, they cut his release calls down. We took too long to get rid of Kurt Zuma, if you remember. Kurt Zuma ended up going to West Ham purely on the reason of the basis that Jules Kounde was making his way to Chelsea. When Chelsea then reapproached Sevilla for Jules Kounde, because it went past the deadline of what they agreed was going to be that cut, you know, that cut price, they then asked for the full release clause, and his full release clause was pushing these 70 million euros. And that was why the deal wasn't done last season for Jules Kounde. Chelsea would have took Jules Kounde last season. They couldn't get it done. You know, and it is starting tomorrow. You know, we need to start seeing players coming in. We definitely do in the next week or so. I really expect us to really step up the heat, because pre-season kicks in. He's going to have to start getting some of these players mixing up with the players that we got, etc., etc. But Jules Kounde is one that's sitting on the wings, and it holds Sevilla back because they know that they've got to replace people. They know that they need to get things done. They're slowing themselves down by not allowing a player to go that wants to leave your football club. And he wants to leave your football club. Like, there's no two double ways about it. He wants to leave your football club. So Jules Kounde at the moment is still very much up in the air, as many other deals. It feels like Chelsea have got their fingers in many pies at the moment as well. We then have this little bit from Simon Phillips, who also talks about Nathan Ake as well. This is via Matt Law. Chelsea are likely to have to pay around 40 million sterling to sign Nathan Ake. There has been claims that City also want a replacement lined up before allowing Ake to leave. But that has not dampened Chelsea's interest with the club. Also still keen on Jules Kounde, but that makes sense. We're asking questions to Jules Kounde. It sounds like we want Jules Kounde to be one of the two, if you're my honest opinion. I think Nathan Ake is probably high up the list as well, and De Ligt as well. I feel that they're the three centre-backs that we will probably end up getting. Now, I know a lot of you guys are saying, well, but we only need two. But I honestly feel that there's a potential for us to probably sign three. And if we do that, we really have to make sure that we can pay as less as much cash for De Ligt. And by doing that, we have to give players. So giving players for him, finding an agreement with Jules Kounde, which suits both Sevilla and Chelsea, which I feel we're going to try and push for about 55 million euros. And Nathan Ake for 40 million is a joke. I'm sorry. Like, that shouldn't happen. That's ridiculously too much for me. I think Nathan Ake should be in and around 28 to 30 million. There will be add-ons on top of that, but if the add-ons push it up to around 34 million, then it makes a lot of sense. It still makes a lot of sense to get the job done. But at the moment, I feel that every club that Chelsea are approaching are all asking for these stupidly high fees. And it's probably really annoying Todd Bowley and Thomas Tuchel at the moment because they are trying to speed things up. They're trying to sort out A, B, C, and D. We need to get the forwards sorted. We need to sort out the centre backs. What we might want to try and add a midfielder. We could probably also potentially add a wing back. Oh, Kepa needs to go. We might need to buy a goalie. But it's all still very just up in the air because we just can't get to a conclusion with these individuals, with these individual clubs. So it's going to be interesting to see how and what we do. Are we going to be forced eventually to just pay the money? Are we going to be forced into just going, here you go, there's the money, take it, which is what I don't want. I don't want us to overpay for players that are not, that shouldn't be, shouldn't be that value. And Jules Kounde for 60 million euros, even though I love him and I think he's a top player and I want him, I don't see Chelsea paying that. And that's why I'm saying Nathan Ake 40 million is too much. De Ligt for 120 million euros is too much. There's just too much going on. There's just too much going on. Sevilla setting deadlines for Chelsea is not making sense. Chelsea are looking elsewhere, but Chelsea are trying to compromise with Seville, but they're not compromising with us. And that's the issue at the moment. That is the real issue. We're going to get on to Dembele, Raphinha, Neymar's next two we're going to talk about. We've also got a bit of Sterling. Then we'll open up the lines. We'll also go through a little FIFA formation setup thing that we do as well. Over 250 of you guys on the Chelsea Fan TV side, 110 likes. Well done there, guys. Let's try and get this to 200 likes, though. Let's try and close that gap to 200 likes. On the GNA TV side, 320 watching right now. Big up to every single one of you guys. But we've only got 94 likes, guys. So we are currently getting beaten by the Chelsea Fan TV lot. Let's get these likes up. There's more of us on the GNA TV side than there is on the Chelsea Fan TV side. So let's try and close the gap to 200 likes as well, guys. Big up to every single one of you as well. We move on to the fantasy, I will call it, the fantasy of football for Chelsea fans. The player that people keep talking around quite a lot. And when I say fantasy, I'm talking about it is literally a fantasy that sounds like it's starting to pick up a lot of heat. And it's the man himself, Mr. Neymar. Now, Neymar is one of them players that I'm going to be honest with you guys, I do not want to see at my football club. I've said it for long enough now. Okay, I've just got something on from Matt Law and Raphinha. If you he wants to go, but all right, we're going to get to Raphinha after Neymar, so we'll highlight that next. So yeah, I've just seen some breaking from Matt Law on Raphinha, which is good because I need that. We need this right now. Yeah, so going back to Neymar, he's a player that it doesn't make sense. Thomas Tuchel got the best out of him, fine. I get that. Absolute Chelsea is saying Chelsea have been contacted to see if they would be interested in signing Neymar this summer, according to reports. I do feel that Todd Bowley wants to make a marquee signing. And when we say marquee signings, I'm talking about either Neymar or Declan Rice. I'm talking about them type of players, them sort of caliber of players. I don't want him for the reasons that a couple of reasons, actually, is that he's 31 years old. He will come into this team, which I'm not really sure will suit him personally. He plays 20 to 22 games a season. If you look at his last 3 seasons, I think he's played 22 or 24 games this season, another 20 last season. He's coming into a team where we play 50 odd games a season. You know what I mean? And you're going to buy a player that's going to ask for some extortionate wages to only play 20 odd games a season potentially because he suffers from injuries. And this not lie, since he's been at PSG, he's picked up one real serious injury that put him out for a while. Let's be serious, he did. I know a lot of people not to know about it. And then Since that, yeah, he's a good player. He's a top player. It's Neymar. It's the it's the skills. It's the silkiness. It's what we had when we had Eden Hazard here. It's that feeling again. People want to have that nice feeling to watch a player just pick the ball and just flick it over someone's head and run round them. I get that, but in all fairness, and if we talk about it logically, I don't know how much they're going to sell him for, but I think 50, 60 plus mil for Neymar. He's going to want a good 400 grand's worth of wages easily, which will just absolutely destroy our wage structure and destroy it completely. We've still got Werner out in the books. All right, we've got rid of Lukaku, but you might as well have just got rid of Lukaku to replace him with Neymar. But then Lukaku is only on a loan. We didn't even sell him. He could come back next year. I know there's so many Chelsea fans that want it, but it just don't make sense to me. It just generally don't make sense to me. And we all have our own opinions and preferences when it comes to it. I don't want to see him at Chelsea. I genuinely don't want to see him. I don't want to see him. I genuinely don't want to see him at Chelsea. But again, like I said, that's my point of view. We also got this saying that Neymar's agent, Pini Zahavi, has made contact with Chelsea, one of the few clubs capable of recruiting Neymar. However, it remains to be seen if Chelsea and Thomas Tuchel are keen to recruit the 30-year-old. That comes from Lorenz Julian at the ESPN FC as well. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I just don't think it suits anything of what we're trying to do specifically at the moment. Chelsea are determined to reshape. Yeah, we know this. As I noticed since the pro. Okay, well, that's interesting. I'm not too interested. I'm not too thinking about that one off. Okay, interesting. That one. I'm getting into Raphinha news because I'm getting lots of Raphinha news coming now. So I'm just sorry if I go quiet for a second. It's just that I'm trying to sort myself out. But yeah, look, just to cut it short because there's not much going on with this. It is slowly picking up. Chelsea haven't entertained it. You heard Ben Jacobs yesterday make it very clear that he's not very sure if Neymar would be attracted to the Premier League, if that's where he wants to, if that's where he sees himself. He's never really been that attracted to the Premier League, even though he was so close to moving to Chelsea before he went to Barcelona. It was interesting. So let's just see how that plays out. But for me and my thoughts on this, I don't think we should be looking at a player like Neymar in the way that we're moving forward. Yeah, I've got it, Arpan. I've got Matt Law's tweet on Raphinha, which we're going to look at next. Is there any more Matt Law tweets before we start? Let's have a quick look. It's fine, DJ. Thanks for sending it over. It's good that you guys are sending it over to me. That's interesting. So there's some news coming in from Tutto Mercato, which is like quite a big Italian media company. They've said that Chelsea could include Jorginho or Kante in the De Ligt deal, not Pulisic now. So that's interesting stuff. Right, so let's go to the Raphinha news because that's the one that we're all here for. There's over 700 of you guys combined here, guys. Get the likes up, though. Let's get this to 200 likes. Matt Law, some breaking. I did say to you guys, I was waiting for some breaking to revert for you guys. So this is where we're at with it currently. Not much new to report on Raphinha as of now. View around Barca is that player currently only wants to go there, but they won't/can't match Chelsea's bid so far. Will be interesting to see how long Chelsea prepare to wait and if they can try or try to change Raphinha's mind. I'm going to be honest with you guys with this. I think Todd Bowley needs to do one real big thing right now when it comes to Raphinha, because I feel Deco and Raphinha are not getting the message, and the message has been quite clear the last day or two. Barcelona are scraping the bottom of their pockets to try and put Raphinha forward. Raphinha ain't even on their first to-do list as well. This is just something on the side that they want to do. Lewandowski, which we're going to get to in a second, is on their to-do list. That's the guy that they're trying to get across. If I'm Todd Bowley, and we already know that he wants to move these negotiations quicker. He wants to get a yes or a no very quick so that he can get on to the next thing, because we haven't got time. We haven't got time to wait for players like Raphinha to make his mind up when he wants to. Todd Boehly needs to now pull Deco and Raphinha aside and say to these lot, look, I understand that Barcelona was your first choice. They're not matching it. Your current club Leeds are not willing to accept anything better than what we've done. Unless they can match it or do better, they're not entertaining Barcelona. They want what we've offered them. And what Chelsea have offered them is a big lump sum of money straight once we've signed him. So no build-up of it over a certain couple of years. A big lump sum of it will we go straight to Leeds. That in itself is probably why Leeds are holding their stance. But Raphinha, who was, I wouldn't say he's not happy to play for Chelsea, because I see some comments coming out from certain like tweets, and I'm watching the response of certain people on it. It's not that he doesn't want Chelsea. It's that Barcelona was always probably his dream team to play for. If you commit to a Chelsea deal and it's maybe like a 4 or 5 year contract, he's probably going to have a release clause on it as well. He may not ever get the opportunity to go Barcelona, especially once they sort themselves out eventually and they have the funds, and then they go on and buy someone else, and then that someone else becomes a superstar. So this is a big opportunity for Raphinha in his career and his life to get the big move that he wanted, which is Barcelona. And I understand that. I get it. But from our perspective, we have to be selfish. It's got to the point where we have to turn around and go, Raphinha, get it, but you need to make a decision. We ain't hanging around. The offer's on the table. It won't be on there for too long. I'll give you till the end of this weekend to make your mind up, or we're pulling it. And I promise you now, if Todd Boehly can have that attitude in some sort of way, it will force him to make a decision there and then. That's when Deco will then go back to Barcelona and say, look, are you going to be able to just somehow magically, if we wait even longer before the summer window ends, are you going to be able to fork out this 60 mil once you've maybe sold a player or two and whatever else? And Barcelona are probably going to turn around and say, no, I feel. Or maybe, but we can't give you a certainty. And that is the issue. Raphinha cannot accept the Chelsea deal, or Chelsea can pull the deal off Raphinha. But if Barcelona don't compromise with Leeds, or at least give them what they want, Leeds won't accept it. So what happens to Raphinha then? He will just then be stuck at Leeds. So he needs to really think about this. He really needs to think about this. You know, I don't feel it's a thing of, he doesn't want to play for Chelsea, he hates it. I just feel that he feels that this is an opportunity for him to get the dream move. And it is annoying. And I understand why fans are so frustrated about it. I am frustrated about it. We've been told there was a full agreement. Personal terms wasn't going to be too much of an issue. Barcelona come and knock on the fucking window and catch his attention. If they didn't go knocking on the window, yeah, it probably wouldn't be here. He'd be signed. He'd have had a medical. But all they've done is they've knocked on the window a bit, opened the door and gone, well, look, I can give you this much, but you're not matching what the other guys have offered me. Yeah, but this is what we can do. We'll try and see. Like, they've basically just held it up, is what I'm trying to say. They've literally just held this up. Viewers, what are your thoughts and opinion on the Raphinha? We're going to go through some of your comments in a second. 416 people watching on the GNA TV side. Big up to every single one of you guys in here. But we've only got 130, not even 130 likes, guys. Get them up. Let's get this over 200 likes, guys. If you've not hit that thumb, hit the thumb now. What we got on the Chelsea Fan TV side? Wow, 359, nearly 400 of you guys here as well. Big up to every single one of you guys. You've got 145 likes. We should really be getting 200 likes on both of these channels, guys. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to this channel, because we will be going through the break-ins all the way through this summer window. This is why I'm here. This is why I've agreed with Chelsea Fan TV to do this collab, because you will see a lot more of my face, and we will be having a lot more of the Ben Jacobs on here. The Piers is on here. We're going to get Con on as well eventually, and other individuals at later stages. You know, you're going to be getting a lot of this. So if you like what we're doing here, please smash the likes. You know, I'm just reading more news on it as well, on this as well. We've got this comment here from Barca, whoever they are. Barca, where is it? Barca Universal. Oh, don't want to see his face. Barcelona will not offer more than 55 million euros for Raphinha. They won't offer more for 55 million euros because they can't. They're struggling to offer Lewandowski 50 million euros. They're, at the moment, they're offering him 40 million euros. And Bayern Munich want 50. So where they're getting 50 here, 50 there. What? Like, wow. They broke. They've not got the money. They have not got the money. I don't get it. I don't get it. And we're all sitting here waiting. We're all sitting here waiting for the news, yes or no. And it's not coming because of him. Because of him. Who's this? I don't know. Yeah, it's probably fake. I ain't even going to read that. I'm not even going to tell the viewers this because it's over 800 of them here, and I'm not going to tell them something like that. I'm not going to tell them news like that from someone that I don't know. No, I'm not going to do that. So yeah, that's where we are with it, guys. Unfortunately, we're still in the same position as we was yesterday. We don't know we know what he wants to do, but they can't do it, Barcelona. So what are you going to do, mate? Are you going to accept the package, 6 million a year? Let Leeds take their cash, 60 odd million, 65 odd million, including add-ons, or are you going to wait? Because if you're going to wait, Todd Bowley, pull the plug. Pull the plug. Don't let this drag longer than a week or so. I wouldn't even let it drag longer this weekend. It's becoming frustrating. But at the same time, I get we have to be patient. And I do understand that. We do have to kind of wait it out and let him make a decision. But I feel like they're headbutting a brick wall. I really do. Raphinha don't want to play for Chelsea, but Chelsea want him. That's not true. Again, people are getting this all mixed up. It's not that he doesn't want to play for Chelsea. He does want to play for Chelsea. It's just that his dream team have come knocking from the window and said, oh, you know, maybe we do want you. And now he's stuck in between two minds. Barcelona have no money. They could never get the money they need, is what we've got here. I personally think Raphinha's already done. Just journalists making shit up. Fair enough. Maybe it will take, and that could be the case. I'm not even joking. That generally could be the case as well. What you're thinking is going to happen, I don't know, bro, Jose. I genuinely don't know at this point. It's gonna be Pelu. Nice to see you. Haven't seen you in a while. Hopefully, we get more info on Dembele today. We are talking Dembele next as well. That's the next thing we're going to be doing. If Raphinha wants to play for Chelsea, he would have done a Richarlison to Spurs. He's not interested, is what John's saying. Fair point. Rumour has it said no to Chelsea. But that's what we've been told for a while. What is this? People keep sending it. Yeah, I've already spoke about that. Mate. Yeah. So, yeah, it is what it is. I thought Chelsea is getting Sterling. Well, we are. That is one thing that I think is going to happen, but it's not priority because no one's chasing Sterling. Sterling's there. Like, it will be done. With Sterling, I'm pretty sure that will get done. If you think they have money, you're mad. They can't even pay PK 40 million in wages and Messi 50 million in wages. Ray Allen is what Daniel Sterling is saying. Does Chelsea have the buyback clauses on Tomori and Mark Gay? No, they don't. No, they don't. Unfortunately. No, Raphinha knows that his dream team isn't in a good place financially, so why keep waiting? True. Exactly. That's my point. That is exactly my point. Chelsea wouldn't submit a bid if Raphinha had no interest in Chelsea. No, that's what I'm saying. He does have an interest in Chelsea. It's common sense that he has interest in Chelsea. It's just Barcelona have fucked his mind up. Gary the Lion, big up to you with a donation. Jim, can you explain the economic levers, please? I'm not. I'll do my best. I'm not fully clued up on it, to be honest, Gary. I don't want to talk too much into it. I've not looked into it too much, but obviously TV rights of parts of the TV rights have been submitted and sold them to Barcelona. So they've sold parts of their TV rights onto a company. They've made around 265 million with another 60 odd million on top of that over a 25-year period calls. They're obviously trying to fill up their pockets in some sort of way and pretty much sell their soul to a degree. They're also thinking which I'm not too sure. There's a second phase which will then allow them to register players and obviously start negotiating and speed up the like the player transfers with a bit of funds in their pockets. I don't know what that second phase is yet because we've not been told of it, but it's going to be interesting to wait and see where Barcelona go with this. But again, Gary, thanks for the donation, brother. I appreciate that. I am tired with the transfers. I see someone saying that still a lot of money, CFC Blues. If it could be Deco forcing him to go Barcelona, that's true as well. Joey, big up to you, my bro. Nice to see you in the house. Happy Friday to everyone as well. Nearly 800 combined. We've nearly got 800 people here combined in the chat. 380 on the GNA TV side. Let's get this to 200 likes, guys. 381. So we've both got the same amount of viewers live at the moment. 381 on each channel at the moment. So big up to every single one of you guys that are currently here. Raphinha could be the new Oscar. Really? What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? Going on to more bits of Raphinha news, we'll just fly through this. What else have we got on him? This one here, obviously, Deco has tried to stop the Chelsea transfer from happening as Raphinha wants to play for Barcelona, but the Catalans simply can't compete financially with the Blues. And that is it. There's no more to the story. Like, I don't know what more to say with this. Todd Bowley, pull out of it or give a timeline to this. Make them force them into making a decision. Because Barcelona have made it clear to you guys already, Deco and Raphinha, that this is the best they're probably going to be able to do, unless you wait. And waiting means waiting for a couple of weeks, which means that it may or may not happen, and you lose the offer that Chelsea are giving you. So the truth is, he needs to make a decision. He needs to step up, Raphinha, and go, do you know what? They're mucking me around Barcelona. I'm going to go Chelsea. I'm going to go Chelsea. At least Leeds have agreed to it. I'm getting paid double the wage. I'm just going to go. He needs to make the decision. He needs to make the decision. And the other thing that's also very interesting with this, and it's true, and I've said this earlier on the show, Barca can't sign Raphinha before they sign Lewandowski. They hope to sign Lewandowski next week. Lewandowski is their main target. Lewandowski is their main target. Raphinha is not their main target. They've probably liked the idea of Raphinha at their club, and don't get me wrong, but Lewandowski has not even been sorted yet. So what are they going to do? We're going to wait till Lewandowski's signed before they come to you? They're not prioritising you, Raphinha, right now, bro. They're not prioritising you, bro. They're prioritising Lewandowski because that's who they want. Like, the guy's got to make decisions, man. The guy's got to make decisions. Stop fucking around. Deco is just a legend for both teams. Man is confused. Deco is one of the who stopped Messi to Chelsea. Yeah, I remember that as well. Lewandowski is their target. He is. They're just being greedy, mate. It's true. They're just, like I said, they've got their fingers in too many holes. Raphinha signing Barcelona. Well, he's going to have to wait for a good week or so. I don't want us to be doing that. They won't. Barcelona have already confirmed they're not offering any more than 55 million euros. There's nothing more to say to this. There is literally nothing more to say on that news. But I do want to talk about someone that is a free agent. Someone that, from what we've been told, is ready to kick on. Ousmane Dembele is a free agent, and this is news today. Offer from Barcelona remains his only formal option. Dembele wants double the 6 million euros base salary Barca offered. Dembele still hasn't rejected Barca, but offer may be withdrawn soon should he fail to respond. Ball divided on the approach now. So the answer to that is, in theory, he should be a free agent, but they've still not pulled the offer away. But at the same time, again, same situation. He wants double his wages. They're not giving it to him. Do you know what I mean? They're just a fuckery, Barcelona. Barcelona are a fuckery right now. What else have we got here? And then it goes on to say this as well. Dembele's agent, Moussa Sissoko, big up to Ben Jacobs, by the way. He was on the show yesterday as well, as you already know. Dembele's agent Moussa Sissoko hasn't got any other former offers yet, hence Barcelona's confidence in getting him to sign on a significantly reduced wage. Sissoko is still in contact with Chelsea, who have always said they'd only revisit if after his contract's expired. Well, his contract's expired, Chelsea. You know that you're going to offer him more than what Barcelona want. If you want the player that much, you go and make that offer. Simple. Again, he wants to stay at Barcelona, but they are not compromising to what the player wants. We need to force their hand. A bit like we've done with Raphinha. I think we should just do the same. Force the hand. Make them pick and choose. Because I tell you something now. They are not getting Raphinha and Dembele. I'll be shocked if they get Raphinha and Dembele next season. They want either or. And they are balancing it out at the moment. Chelsea won't meet Dembele's wage demands either. Liverpool and Bayern are not interested. PSG looked at Dembele prior to Luis Campos' arrival, but interest has cooled. So Dembele really has limited options unless he drops his wage demands. So Dembele himself is going to have to drop his wage demands. I still feel Chelsea will offer him more. I still feel Chelsea will offer him more than 6 million euros. It is still likely the contrary to what Barcelona club sources are saying, as you'd expect, that the Dembele-Raphinha situation is entwined. The situation is intertwined, which is what I just said. Barca's maintained they ideally want both, but we'll see if that remains their stance once they have managed to get one of the two. I don't think they want. I mean, they're saying they want both. I don't think they can afford it. I genuinely don't think they can afford it. Take Dembele and PK, Raphinha and Dembele or over Lewandowski is what Catman's saying. Neymar in is what Jama Jones is saying as well. We have got a donation, which I've missed, from Artem. Artem, big up to you, bro. Nice to see you in the house. I see so many people on timeline mad at him for waiting on Barca. I think people have a hard time grasping just how Barca around it are. Players pick those teams majority of the time. No hard feelings. And he's right. He's right. The South American link to the Barcelona dream. He's right. And that's what I was saying to you guys earlier on. It's not something that... I don't think it's, I don't want to play for Chelsea. He just has the opportunity to go and play for his dream team. And it's usually either Real Madrid or Barcelona. Their past carries them. Their past carries them, but financially it don't. Artem, big up to you, my man. Thank you for the donation on the channel as well. Actually, I don't know if you put that on GNA. Oh, you put it on GNA TV. Yeah, big up to you, man. Thank you for the donation on that as well. Appreciate it, Jem. Also, Sevilla a joke with this Kounde. I've said it. I like, you know, I want to do news with you guys where we're talking about players we've signed. Instead, we're going around in circles talking about the same stuff. And it's got to the point now where we know the situations. I've explained to you guys the situation, where we're at and what the situation is. Now we just need to wait. There's not much more to it. There's nothing more to really say. Dembele is funny thing about Dembele is if he agrees with a new deal with Barcelona and he would be a new signing and would need to be re-registered with La Liga, which they can't do. That's the other thing as well. They can't even do that yet because they've not completed the second phase of what they need to do to register players, whatever that second phase is. So that's interesting stuff as well. Good question. Actually, do you know what? I think it's poll time. I haven't done a poll yet, but I can't do it on I can only do it on the GNA TV side. So let me just quickly do one. That's a good question. I can't even answer that. Who do you... No, what? Actually, I ain't going to do it as a poll. I'm going to ask you on here. Who do you think will be CFC's first free signings? Oh, I just want to know out of the general feel around you guys. So there you go, both on there and there. Who do you think will be the CFC's first free signings in the chat? Let us know, and I'll bring them up. It'll be interesting to know. We are going to open up the lines very shortly to get you guys involved in the chat. Currently, 400 people again on GNA TV. That is massive. Thank you very much, guys. But the likes only 157. Hit the likes, guys. Get this over 200 likes, man. Get this over 200 likes. Let's do that as quickly as possible. Please subscribe to GNA TV as well. Chelsea Fan TV, Over 400 of you guys watching now as well. Thank you for tuning in. You're nearly at the 200 like. You're at 199. So one more like, we'll make it over 200. If you haven't hit the like button, do it. It's now over 200. So big up to you guys. Again, subscribe to Chelsea Fan TV if you're new there as well. But subscribe to both channels. So 400 guys over there, go and subscribe to Chelsea Fan TV. And the same with Chelsea Fan TV. Come over to GNA TV and subscribe to the channel, because we will be doing a lot of match reaction previews as we go through the seasons. We do debate shows. We talk about which we are now transfer shows. Yeah, we're going to do an agenda show. We're going to do so many different things. There's so many things planned going into this next season. I want you guys to all be involved. So let's go through your comments here. Sterling de Ligt Ake is what Isan's saying. That's quite solid. Sterling de Ligt Kounde is what Feather's saying. Andreas is saying Sterling de Ligt Strakoza. Where does that come from? Sterling Raphinha Kounde is what Devin's saying. Everyone's saying different. I love it. Sterling de Ligt Koulibaly. Sterling Raphinha de Ligt. Raphinha Dembele. Sterling. You think we're getting Raphinha and Dembele, bro? Wow. Big up to Devin in the house. Big up to ZVO in the house. Nice to see you, brother. Hope you're good. De Ligt and Kounde to come in. Yeah. Interesting stuff, man. I don't think we need to get, I think we're moving away from that, Abdullah. I think we're going to be moving into sort of inside forwards and having, like, Havertz as a false nine. That's what I feel we may do moving forward. Right, what other news have we got before we move on? That we've already spoke about. Sterling. So there you go. Dembele is open. We don't know what's going to happen with Dembele. Chelsea did say they were approaching once the contract expires. Let's keep our eyes to the news on Twitter and see what happens moving forward with that as well. Yeah, I'm just checking. Someone's just tagged me and saying quickly. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Sterling news though. Where are we with Raheem Sterling? Because we were told yesterday from court offside that Raheem Sterling had agreed a deal with Chelsea, that it was completed. Matt Lord came out yesterday and said that there's still talks between the two. Nothing concrete from any tier one yet saying that Raheem Sterling is a done deal yet. We're waiting for the here we goes from Fabrizio Romano's or the Matt Laws. You know, we want to hear that confirmation from them sources. Chelsea remain optimistic in their hopes of signing him. Yeah, I keep saying this with Raheem Sterling. I don't see this being too much of an issue to get done. But what is becoming boring is just waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. The view around Barcelona is that Raphinha currently only wants to go there, but they won't. And yeah, we already know that. Yeah, we know that. It's just dried up news. But yeah, Sterling news is Sterling news, it is what it is. I've put a link in the chat. I want to speak to a couple of you guys. 50 minutes in. We've gone through quite a lot. We've gone through today's news anyway. We'll continue dropping some of the break-ins as well. Chelsea Fan TV, there's the link for you guys to come in as well. GNA TV as well. Get these likes up, guys, as well. 378 on GNA TV. 384 over there with 229 likes. GNA TV, guys, we've got to catch up on Chelsea Fan TV, man. They've got 230 likes. We've only got 181. Come on, guys. Get them likes up. Get them likes up. Over 750 of you guys here. Big up to you all. We have Grey Wolf Stinner in the house. How are we doing, Grey Wolf Stinner? Grey Wolf Stinner, you going to talk, mate? No? Grey Wolf Stinner. He's not there. Matt, what are you saying?
Big up Jem, big up everyone in the chat, everyone as well. It's a good day. It's July 1st. As I said in the chat before, Jem, Christensen is officially not a Chelsea player anymore, so we don't have to see any more of props to him.
He's not registered though, is he?
No, but July 1st, his contract's officially ended with us. So he's officially not a Chelsea player anymore. No more coming back. But anyway, Sterling, about a month ago, I was on the prospect of Sterling as not the best option. However, I look at the realistic standpoint. He comes in, he's our best attacker we get. He comes in, he's better than all our attack. He's had stats that our attack has never even, seen before. So I think he's a fantastic option. I think he'll work well with the likes of Havertz, the likes of Mount, with the likes of, the young youth players. And we've been asking for years. We've been wanting this, where we want players from the Premier League who are proven in the league and who have experience. And now we're getting that. And a lot of people aren't, too excited from it, which obviously everyone has their different opinions. So, I'm looking forward to Sterling. I'm not too upset if we don't get Dembele because obviously we've got the Raphinha deal going on. It's a bit confusing though. I'm really confused on the Kounde and Dembele deal. I don't know what's going on there with this Barcelona. They're in debt one hour, the next hour they've got money. I don't know. I
They're
don't
just
know what's
fucking around.
happening
That's
with
what
that.
they're doing. They're just playing around.
Honestly, they're just playing with my head. They're getting in my head red free. Barcelona always want to be on top of news, but we'll see what happens. It's a big week for Chelsea coming ahead, and we'll see in the coming days, I guess, if
Matt,
Raphinha or Dembele comes in.
my question to you is: do you want Raphinha? Is he a player that you're quite interested in?
I think Raphinha is a fantastic option. The price, we're not getting a bargain for him. We're getting his value. His value is 65 million. And I think he's a great player. Looking at his stats, they're not the best, but we've watched him in the Premier League for the last, 2 seasons. And every time I see him, this guy balls out. I mean, last season, I wasn't a big advocate for him because I just didn't see the need for him in our team because I thought we had a great attack. But coming in this season, we've known the realistic standpoint of our attack. Our attack is absolutely dog shit. So Raphinha could help that because he is a very creative player. He's a dribble. He's got. How do people explain on Twitter? He's an eye test merchant or whatever. I don't know how they explain, but they say when you watch him with your eyes, he's a much better player than you look on the stats. So I'm looking forward to him coming in. He's a creative player. I think him and Dembele would be a great option side by side if they can both come in together. However, I don't know if it's gonna happen. Probably get one or either or. But let's see what happens with Raphinha. Again, it's another Premier League proven player. Isn't that what we've wanted? I feel a bit neglected to go for these Bundesliga players, these Ligue 1 players because we've already seen, I don't know, the Bundesliga tax, and as people claim, to what the Bundesliga proves, I think attackers in the Bundesliga have it much easier in the Serie A and PSG. So we're getting players in the hardest league in the world. So let's see how they cope in our team. I hope they do well because we haven't really had a Premier League proven player since the Kante era.
Yeah, I hear you. Let's go to JJ Karma. What are you saying, mate? You're right. JJ, your internet's not working, mate. You're just staring. Cravel Stinner, what are you saying?
Yeah, I hope we can get Dembele. Yeah, but we gotta give a deadline on Raphinha. I actually think he has agreed a deal with us, but he is, you gotta hurry up, man. We got stuff to do. Got what I mean?
You don't want him though, do you? You don't want him. I know you don't want him because you were moaning about him.
Nah, I don't think he's that great, to be honest. I think he's a decent player, but he's not. I don't think he takes us.
How can you back Ziyech and not like Raphinha? I don't get it.
Ziyech isn't good enough either, to be honest. We've seen that now, but Raphinha is better with both feet than Ziyech. I'll give him that, but I think Ziyech has got a better he can do better crosses and stuff. So it's close.
I think they're two different players. I don't know why people really compare them. To me, they're two different players. I think Raphinha is more of a technical dribbler, skillful player. Ziyech, unfortunately, only has a left foot, even though that left foot's absolutely deadly. I think they're just two different players. He's, as you said, he crosses more. He's more technical on the ball, but Raphinha is just more skillful. He's faster. He's more of an attacker.
Yeah, I hear that. I mean, we've got on Chelsea Fan TV, we've got a poll there saying, is Sterling the answer? 75% of them say yes, and 25% are saying no. On the GNA TV side, I put a poll out saying, will Raphinha come to Chelsea? 55% think yes, and 45% no. So that's a lot more closer on that side as well. But make sure you smash the likes, guys. Still over 360 on each one. 700 of odd people in here right now. Big up to you guys. Grey Wolves, going back to you then. So who do you want then? Dembele?
Yeah, I want Dembele because I feel like we haven't had a player since Hazard who could beat players at ease. I've looked Raphinha's decent, but I compared him to Hazard's worst season for us. And Hazard's worst season, he still had more dribbles completed than Raphinha. I'm
Okay.
talking about that dead season that Hazard had. You know that season.
No, man. But sorry for interrupting, but that may be just the reason because Leeds are a relegation suffering team. So he doesn't get the ball that much as compared to Chelsea, where Hazard was the focus of Chelsea. So he used to get the ball much more. So maybe that may be an unfair argument to take against Raphinha.
I don't think that's true though, because St. Maximin has like 4.2 dribbles completed, and he was in a dead Newcastle team, so I'm not sure of that one.
I'm just reading saying it says Chelsea are keeping tabs on Maxwell Cornet as new owner Todd Bowley plots the Stamford Bridge Revolution. Ivory Coast guys 17.5 million apparently. That's what TalkSport.
Well, Burnley's Cornet.
That's interesting. That's interesting.
So we'll share that. We'll bring it up. Like I said, I'll bring up what I see. We've got a lot of people coming in the back as well. We've got another. So yeah, that's interesting stuff. Who else have we not spoken? We've got loads. 1 second, guys. I'm just trying to do this. We'll get to you in a second. Let's go to who we got here. Dine, what are you saying?
Hey team. I hope everyone is good. So for Raphinha, like I said, I've always rated Raphinha. I think for me, Raphinha will be better than Dembele. I think Dembele as a player, of course, he's better than Raphinha. But for the Premier League, I think Raphinha, is proven. Like when he plays with Leeds, especially under Bielsa, he knows how to press. He I've seen a stats where they say that he's kind of like the chances created is the same as Mane, not assists but chances created. As amount of chances he created for Leeds was very good. Dembele is for me can be a world class player, but will his mentality? I don't know. If he comes to Chelsea, he can just come in for the paycheck. Like he's very injury prone. He comes in one training session and done. You pay 12, like a lot of money for nothing. Raphinha is very proven. If Raphinha goes to Barca, I would be a bit sad because I think that I was so happy when we hijacked him from Arsenal, to be honest, because I really rate him. But I still think like Barca will not pay the amount of straight cash that Chelsea would give Leeds. So Raphinha and Deco right now, they're on thin line. If Chelsea pull out, Barca is going to go fight for Lewandowski. Bayern is not easy to deal with. They're not going to let Lewandowski go without getting straight cash for him. So Barca have to wait for De Jong to be sold, get that money, and then still fight for Lewandowski. So Raphinha can be in the mud. So if Chelsea pulls out, he stays at Leeds or he goes to Arsenal. Because I feel like the second offer, I think Arsenal offer is better than Barcelona. Chelsea was better than both two, but Arsenal is better than what Barcelona offered for Raphinha. So for me, Raphinha is either going to Chelsea or he stays at Leeds. I don't see him going to Barca. So
Fair enough. We've got this comment here saying that Juventus are focusing on Chelsea striker Timo Werner as the make weight in a deal for Matthijs de Ligt, who has expressed a willingness to move to Stamford Bridge. That was from the Mail Sport as well. So
that'll be the best transfer we will have this season if we can use Timo Werner to get de Ligt. That would be fantastic. Oh my god!
So that's from Mail Sport. But it's obviously linked to Pulisic and Jorginho, so we have to see what happens because
and Kante, like everyone. I don't know. Yeah, that was the confusing thing. Yeah.
Okay, cool, no problem. All right, let's go to who we got next. Who I'm not spoke to. Let's talk to Anat. Anat, what are you saying? Anant, what are you saying?
Yeah, man. I think it would be an ideal transfer if we could get Werner off our books because I assume Todd Bowley is trying to get us to a Liverpool-like model in which all of the majority players' wages are sandwiched between the 100 and 200k mark, and Werner being the only exception, having 270k and hasn't performed well since he's come to the club. And although the exceptions being Lukaku at 325k and the Kante at 290, so getting rid of Werner and bringing in De Ligt will be a great option. I just wanted to ask you and the whole panel, would De Ligt play at the left position of the back three or the right one? Because I'm not sure which is his best one. Because I've seen him playing the left one at the Netherlands national team and the right one at Juventus. So
I think
he played left Juventus.
Yeah, I mean, it depends. Like, if we go and get Jules Kounde, then he plays on the left. Like, there's no talks about it. It just depends. Like, put it this way: if we get Nathan Ake and De Ligt, Nathan Ake will play on the left, De Ligt will play on the right. If we get Kounde will play on the right, De Ligt will play on the left. It just depends on
Yeah.
who the second centre back is. Do you know what I mean? So we'll have to see. I think he can play in both. He also allows us to play a back four, which is another thing as well. So, De Ligt makes a lot of sense. It's just getting the value right. If we get the value right for him, and we can throw a player in exchange for that and not have to actually fork out as much cash, then it works for us.
My ideal one would be giving Jorginho and Werner in place of De Ligt. So we get 2 players off our books and get De Ligt in return
But who will come in
without
for our
giving them
midfield?
any cash.
If we get rid of Jorginho, he comes in our midfield.
That's the other thing, isn't it? We'd have to look for a midfielder, wouldn't we? And that's the thing. So that's why I feel that it will be a forward, personally. It'd rather be Pulisic or Werner, I feel, unless they've
That'll
got
be
the
the
idea.
priority.
It will be Werner. I think it will be Werner because Vlahovic is a main striker, so Werner would be the second striker to Vlahovic because they sold Dybala and Morata is probably
Morata.
Morata's not gonna be there. So Allegri likes to play with 2 strikers, and Werner plays the best with a striker like Vlahovic. Someone who holds the balls for him. So I think the better signing here would be Timo
Giving them
Werner.
any-
If we get rid of Jorginho, he comes in our midfield.
That's the other thing.
Yeah,
isn't it? We'd have
Jorginho too. Jorginho too also. Jorginho because we got Pogba, so
That's why I
Jorginho
feel
too.
that it will be a forward, personally. It'd rather be Pulisic or Werner, I feel, unless they've
That'll
got
be
the
the
idea.
priority.
It will be Werner. I think it will be Werner because Vlahovic is a main striker, so Werner would be the second striker to Vlahovic because they sold Dybala.
Am I
Morata
hearing
because-
the thing twice? Is that me?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, someone needs to mute.
So Allegri likes to play with 2 strikers, and Werner
What is that?
plays the best with a striker like Vlahovic. Someone who holds the balls for him. So I think
Daniel,
the better signing here.
Giving them-
everyone mute. Everyone mute.
Comes in our
Everyone mute
midfield.
themselves. Why can't I hear myself? That's the other thing.
Yeah,
isn't it? We'd have-
Jorginho too. Jorginho.
Someone
because
someone
we got
needs to-
Pogba, so
that's why I
Jorginho
feel
too.
that it will. It'd rather be
Has
Pulisic
someone
or
got the YouTube video at the background?
Someone,
Jim, I'm
someone-
able to
I
hear
think
him
so.
properly.
And
Hello?
striker, so Werner would be the second striker to
I think it's
Vlahovic
MC
because they
Victor.
sold Dybala.
Am I hearing the thing twice?
Is it better now?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's good now.
Yeah.
it's
I
the
think it was my
MC
class
guy.
or something.
It's the guy.
That was
I-
messing
it's-
my head.
That's
Yeah,
happening.
I thought it was me. It's going mad.
It was like playing a recording once again.
I meant it was. I thought it was me. I couldn't work it out. It was him.
I was
had to
closing
kick
my
him.
tabs. I thought it was me. Yeah.
No, I had to kick him. I feel bad. I was like, shit, I have to kick him. But anyway, I couldn't have that. Anyway, Hassan, what are you saying, bro?
Yeah, Jim, not too much. Can you guys hear me clear? Yeah, because
Yeah.
obviously
Yeah,
with StreamYard, you never know in a 1 minute song clear next to it. But anyway,
McDonald's Wi-Fi.
with the whole Raphinha situation, is I just don't get why he's trying to go to Barcelona. I mean, like I know it's his dream club, but the max he's gonna get there is a Happy Meal, a Freddo bar, and a blooming fruit shoot for his payment. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just don't know why he wants to go there. What's his obsession? Like, he could go to us, be in a stronger position, be more likely to win the Champions League. Let's be honest, because I see if we go head to head with our Barca team, we're probably going to slap them in both legs. And yeah, I mean, there's just too much financial situation that a lot of the players there are staying not because they want to stay, it's because they know that they might not get their money. You know what I mean? Like, if they stay there and demand their money, like, Barcelona are literally stripping naked. Like, I said it all over the stream. Like, they sold their merchandise licensing. They sold everything just so they can bring, like, bombs like Christensen over. Like, I just don't get why he's trying to get there. I know it's his dream club, but let dreams be dreams. The grass ain't always greener. Look at Hazard. But anyway, like, I think I was listening to I was in a Leeds space yesterday. Some of the Leeds fans, apparently from their side, that the owner or the guy who's managing the Raphinha transfer, the ones who decided, they've all given a deadline saying that it needs to be done before next week because their preseason starts and they're planning to keep him. So I don't know. I think for Raphinha's case, I think it's going to be us or nothing. And from what I'm reading as well, we're planning on the Neymar transfer. Todd's planning on other transfers like Neymar on a loan fee or this guy, right, or the winger that you brought up for 17.5 million, I'll just say that we shouldn't be wasting our time with Raphinha. I think we should give a deadline as well, probably by end of this week. Because let's be honest, Todd's got a lot of things to do. He's got a lot of outgoings to do. I think he's planning to bring his ingoings first before he starts getting rid of players. And yeah, I mean, it's just for Raphinha's case, it's just either pick us or we move on. Like, there's nothing else to say about that. But with the other transfers, I'm confident. I think Kounde is just. I think we all know that his transfer is either likely or going to happen, or I just think that the Kounde transfer is a backup to De Ligt or Ake if none of them go through properly. Like, we know that's in the bag, we could go back to it, but with the other transfers like Sterling or that, I think all of that's done. We're just probably waiting for either another couple of wingers, and then we're probably gonna announce them.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I'm just people ask me, did we see the Cornet news? Yes, we did. And I'm saying keeping tabs FC. That's what we are. We move on to Sportswire. What you saying, mate?
Hey, hi Jim. How are you?
Not bad, mate. Not bad. How are you?
All right. Yeah, I'm good too.
Good.
Thank you. Yeah, keeping tabs. We're finding different words, right? Monitoring FC, keeping tabs FC. All new words for the same thing. But yeah, we somehow do all that, but then never end up signing anyone. Raphinha, I mean, Barcelona's situation financially, it has always been a black box to everyone because the way that they're able to generate cash. I know Spotify signed a deal with them. They have 25% of their media rights also being sold. 165 million is what they generated 2020-21 through broadcasting rights. But how can that be that value should obviously offset whatever loss that they have had in the previous 4 or 5 years, and it shouldn't be used for their future business purposes. So how is that being allowed by La Liga is something that is very mysterious to me. But on the other hand, you could also argue that Barcelona's business and revenue is something which is very important for La Liga as well, because they're only relying on Real Madrid. Let's be honest about it. They're only relying on the income of Real Madrid because people tune into La Liga just to watch Real Madrid, nothing else. So if that is the case, they were very reliant on Barcelona as the alternative option because they don't have a competitor right now, Real Madrid, at this point in time. So having said all this, I think Barcelona are in a precarious situation, but then it's a very long step in terms of the business. I don't think so. They're looking at things futuristically. They're expecting certain things from the investors that might not be compatible with the investors, but somehow they're able to generate that cash. Having said all that, I don't know what problem they have with Chelsea only. Like we just had them once defeated in the Champions League, but then they're not allowing us to make any signings. Kounde blocked by Barcelona. Christensen taken by Barcelona. Now the same thing with Raphinha, Dembele. How many transfers are just blocked by just one club, which is Barcelona? It's when you look back at it, it's quite astonishing. Azpilicueta as well. They're going to get our captain. Apparently, they're not able to sign anyone because of their influx in cash issue. But I really want to closely track Barcelona's finances because I don't know how they're able to generate that sort of a cash.
No one knows, and that's the problem, isn't it? It's like I honestly think if they actually heavily looked into Barcelona, which they won't do because they're Barcelona, they'd probably find so much. Do you know what I mean? It's not their name's not Chelsea Football Club, so they can't check us. They can't check them. Do you know what I mean? But I don't know. I don't know how they're able to finance anything really. To be honest, even some of the players that they've got at the moment, it's like how are they even going to be able to register him? How are they going to get Lewandowski? How are they going to get Raphinha? Like, how are they doing all this stuff? I don't get it. And doing what Real Madrid are doing, which is being able to, like, finance things, I don't know. It's a weird one. I don't know. I can't answer it.
Jim, also,
I think it's because there's leeway in Spain or in Catalonia because Barcelona is such a big brand and they don't want it to go down. They allow things which, in our rules, the FFP would not allow at all, which is endangering our club.
Right. That is exactly what I was getting to as well, right? See, as long as you're part of La Liga, that's fine. But once you start entering European competitions and your metrics is is a measurement of how your success is in European competitions, then you should be coming under the UEFA's FFP regulations as well, even if it has one, right? So why is that not being implemented? Why is UEFA not checking these things? This is something that at the Europe level that should be checked, not just the FA and the La Liga.
Because they're Barcelona, that's why they don't need to be checked.
Plus, they also need to pay Gerard Piqué about 100 million in the next 2 years because of deferred salary payments to him.
Yeah, they've got major financial crisis. Not sure how they're going to address it, but yeah, it's Barcelona.
Like I don't know. That's so confusing. One day they're $1 billion in debt, next day they can buy a player. I don't know. So it's a massive confusion around the football world. I don't know. But again, it's not Chelsea, so that it doesn't get looked into.
It's all a confusion, isn't it, at the moment? Everything's a big up in the air. But like I keep saying, we haven't got time to hang around. Chelsea need to start making things happen. Pre-season's starting next week, but I think they're coming back tomorrow or Sunday. So, Tuchel's going to want some of these players across the line. Sterling looks like it's going to be done because there's no threat there. Raphinha, I think Bowley should give him a bit of a time frame. End of the weekend, make your decision, or we'll pull in. Dembele, if you want him, he's out of contract. Go and offer him something which we know will be better than Barcelona. Play with his mind, see what he's saying. De Ligt, you want De Ligt? Fine, get it done. Give them who they want, but it's the money side of agreeing it. Jules Kounde, Sevilla are just with Monchi as their sporting director. It's just an issue because they've done this last year, and the funny thing is they're moaning about they can't get business done themselves, but they're the ones that are stalling everything. We've had 3 meetings with them, and we still have not come to an agreement on figure. So they're going to have to compromise, or Jules Kounde is going to have to do what De Ligt did, which is go to the club and say, look, you're taking the piss, I want to go, and force them into it. Because by De Ligt doing what he did, he already forced them to drop his value because he wants to leave. So until the player comes out and actually forces Sevilla to do it, I think you'll see that maybe we can come to a compromise with Jules Kounde. Nathan Ake, I don't know. I don't know if you guys want Nathan Ake, but I don't know. It looks like it could
he shouldn't be a priority. I don't mind it. Coming in, versatile, whatever. Back up, but we should be getting Jules Kounde, De Ligt done over the line. Yeah, we can get Ake. That's fine. I don't care. But Jules Kounde, I think the poor guy's crying on his Instagram page. He doesn't want to play here, but he has to step up. I agree. He has to step up like De Ligt did and go to the club. I don't want to be and be direct with them because Sevilla are just these La Liga teams are messing with our heads. Again, Barcelona and now Sevilla, they're just all over the place. These players, if they want to leave, they got to be direct.
Now, I think that there's one more concern when it comes to De Ligt situation and Nathan Ake situation as well, right? For me, Nathan Ake is someone that I look at like when Chelsea is trying to even sign him, maybe one very good defender plus one mid-tier defender is what Chelsea's priority could be, and that's the reason why we're probably going for someone who's not even considered in the front line for Manchester City. But that is fine. Nathan Ake is fine, but De Ligt's situation is a bit weird for me because for someone who is at least reported to be at 280k a week, are we really bringing him to break a wage structure? So I'm a bit concerned around that area. I'm not even sure how the wage structure is going to be reorganized since the new owner is right now in. How is everything going to be changed? Because we've managed to offset a few of those wage structures, wage bills through, moving Saul Niguez and Romelu Lukaku out of our books, but Timo Werner is still part of our books. Maybe we could, release a few wage there, but even then, I'm still finding it hard to believe that we would pay an incoming defender, though he is 23 years of old or 24, a 280. Maybe another 20k additional, 300k for a defender.
I think it's 200k a week. I think it's 200k a week for De Ligt. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think if you look at Todd Bowley team, not Chelsea, he's okay in paying high wages. The thing about Timo Werner and Lukaku is that because Tuchel doesn't want them. The thing about Bowley, he's just selling players or just swapping players who Tuchel says, you know what, Werner's not going to be in my starting 11. Lukaku is done. Pulisic is a squad player, so he's already telling Bowley what he thinks of certain players. So Bowley is not afraid to pay wages. If Tuchel says no, I like De Ligt, I think he will be my my future center back. He's gonna be my leader in that center back after Thiago Silva. So then Boli says, okay, I'll go get him. So I think Boli thinks like that. I think for Timo Werner, it's just because if Timo Werner was a good player in Chelsea's system, Tuchel would not sign him or swap him. It's just because those players are not playing well under his system, so it's just telling them to go away.
Dan, I get your point. Boli wouldn't probably want to, wouldn't be probably afraid of increasing the wage bill for De Ligt. But what he is in essence trying to do, once he's completed that, he is bound to increase the wages of the other people who are asking for contract or who are currently up for contract, from Mason Mount to Reece James and everyone, right? And this is going to be just an uphill battle for him. At one point in time, you will not be able to control the wage structure, and that is exactly what Barcelona have ended up, struggling with right now. So not sure if 280, the report what I saw is true, then it's going to be very difficult for us, or I find it very hard to believe that we'll be providing an increment on top of that.
Apparently, Chelsea's move for Koulibaly makes more sense than 100 million Matthijs de Ligt transfer, is what Chelsea FC News are talking about as well. We've got this comment here saying Raphinha has asked his agent Deco to halt discussions with Chelsea as he only wants to join Barcelona. I don't know how much I believe in that still. I don't know.
If it's true, let him join Barcelona. We shouldn't be forcing these players. Honestly, in my opinion, we shouldn't be forcing these players. If they want to join our club, they will want to join our club first. But I don't know how true this is. Again,
it sounds like Raphinha's mocked Deco more than anything.
It's
Deco's the guy who was like, yeah, Raphinha would join you happily. That's why he put a bid in. But it seems like Raphinha himself, as he said, no, I want to just join Barcelona.
It's Deco,
if this is true,
why we don't go for Neymar if we know that he's available, and we don't even have to sign him on a permanent deal. We can just get him on a loan, which PSG would pay his wages.
I don't mind. I don't mind Neymar on loan. If he's on loan, I don't mind. I mean,
I don't know. Neymar's a tricky one.
Why would you think
Neymar
generally
has
why would
natural
you think
talent? Go on, Vijay. Go on.
No, I just wanted to understand it from a financial perspective. For Anand's comment, why would you think PSG would pay their wages as well, Neymar's wages in this case? Because I understand he might want playing time, but wouldn't that also, make us pay the wages because we're getting him in?
See, so I'm assuming there will be like a 50-50 of some ratio 40-60, because no way that any club in the world can pay what Neymar currently earns at PSG. And if the relationship is strained between PSG and Neymar, so they want to get it, but they know that no club can afford it. So that's why they'll have to pay at least some part of his wages, so that another club can take him on loan. That's why.
But the thing is with Neymar as well.
Instead of Romelu Lukaku. Yeah, go on, Matt.
No, I just want to say quickly. The thing is with Neymar as well is, yes, this guy is natural talent, but let's look at his work rate. He's coming from, I'm going to be honest, a horrible league where he's barely putting in numbers. He's barely trying. Remember, he takes 4 weeks off for his sister's birthday. We just got rid of a player who doesn't want to play in a final for us. Why would we go again and regain a player who doesn't want to put 100% for this club? If he comes in and he puts 100% and he works for Tuchel like he claims he will, he's claimed a lot of things over the past 3 years, I'm all for it. But this guy, work rate is unfortunately not there. That's why I don't want him at the club. And if we're going to pay 350k, 400k for him, because remember, he's on 600k a week right now, and I do not see PSG paying half his wages to get rid of him. They'll rather keep him because he makes a lot of money for him. So why would we get a player, pay so much money for him to put 20% into the club and then take 4 weeks off for his sister's birthday? I just don't get this Neymar deal, realistically.
And Berko in the comment section as well makes a good point. His injury record is also not,
some of it's fake as well. Honestly, have you not seen the past 2 years? He'll get this foot injury. He'll be out for a month and a half. Somehow, it's his fourth cousin's birthday, so he goes out for it. It's all, I don't know. Neymar, unfortunately, his work rate isn't there. I wish he could put 100% all the time, but he just doesn't. He's natural talent. He has it there. If he comes and puts 100%, fantastic, but that's if buts and house. Realistically, he doesn't put that in Ligue 1.
A question for you guys in the panel, right? If at all Chelsea manages to sign Neymar, would you classify that as a tactical signing, or would you classify that as a statement signing from the ownership to make sure that it's like a Ronaldo signing, right? Would you classify it that way, or would you say it's still a tactical move, given his association with Tuchel?
I think statement. I think it's more of a sentiment. If we're going for tactical, it could be both, as you said. Obviously with the Tuchel, preference there, but I would assume it'd be more the board wanting it for his name. Obviously, he is a massive player. He brings a lot to the club, and obviously to what his name is massive.
Because one thing you have to understand with Tuchel, he likes Dembele and he likes Neymar. It's very strange that when Dembele is off the market and he still wants and he's still going for Raphinha. Because you have to understand one thing, Tuchel knows how physical this league is, how physical Premier League is. He knows how good Dembele is, how good Neymar is, but he also knows how physical Premier League is. He knows a guy like Dembele will come to Premier League, he will have maybe 2-3 world-class matches, and then one injury, that's it. Tuchel wants consistency. With the World Cup coming in, some players have to play so many games. Carabao, FA Cup, Champions League, Premier League. You need players not only at skills, but having the stamina, being less injury prone. Like let's say players like Mount, for example. The guy, he can play. He can play consistently for like 10 matches. Can Dembele do that? No. Can Neymar do that? No. So Tuchel, who rates Dembele, still going for Raphinha, telling me that Tuchel doesn't even want Neymar. He's also looking at the Premier League, because Tuchel now is more experienced in Premier League. When he came to Chelsea, he was learning the Premier League. Tuchel was very good in Champions League, because Champions League have a mix of physical team, non-physical team. But in the league, he was shocked. He was surprised to see how good physicality in the league is. Because look at players like Mane and Salah. You won't get players like that who can play 30 games. You don't get players like that, and we need players like Mane who can play consistent.
Yeah, I hear that. You're talking more like the inside forward. This is what I'm saying. We need people that can also contribute to goals, be the inside forward, have the directiveness to run behind.
Yeah.
I think we're going to move away from the forward. I think we're going to move away from the typical number 9s. I think you'll see that we probably go down a different route. I don't think Thomas Tuchel, when you look at his history or his career as a manager, has actually played with a proper out-and-out 9, or even played them in that position, because even at PSG, when he had Edison Cavani, he used to play him off the left. So it's like, I don't know, like we'll see what happens. Guys, I've got to shoot because I've got another stream with someone else. So I forgot, which have just come to me now. Daniel, what are you saying, mate? I've got to speak to you.
How's everyone?
All good, mate. All good. How you feeling?
Yeah, I'm feeling all right. Just want to get these transfers done, because who we're after are all good players, and it helps our team a lot. So.
No, I hear you, and it's stressful at the moment trying to get these things done. Listen, guys, I've tagged the link to this stream that I'm going to next, which is the Blues Brothers. I'm going on their channel, which he asked me to come on the other day. So, Chelsea Fan TV, GNA TV, lot, thank you for all tuning in. Click that link, and that link will take you directly over to another Chelsea channel where you can catch me over there with Charlie. He will be doing talks about Neymar and other bits and bobs in and around Chelsea if you want to continue over there. So, there's 670 of you guys here. So go and subscribe to him over there. The link is there in the chat for both of you guys to go and follow it over there. And I think he's going live at 3 p.m. So in 20 minutes time, we'll start over there as well. So yeah, go and check it out. And I want to thank every single one of you guys for tuning in. Hopefully the next time you see me, it will be news or breaking news on players that we're signing. It can be very draining trying to do these shows, but it's one of the things of being consistent and bringing you up to date with where we are with things. We understand where we are with the Raphinha thing, the Dembele thing, and other things as well. Now we just need to see action. Todd Boehly seems to be running around everywhere trying to get things across the line and whatever else. But I'm hoping by the end of this weekend, maybe we have 1, maybe 2 signings. Watch out for July the 4th. That's all I'm going to say, Joe. Watch out for July the 4th, because potentially we could have 1 or 2 signings on the bill. Might not, who knows? But from what I might have been told from someone, July the 4th is going to be quite an important day for Chelsea. We'll see what happens. But big up to every single one of you guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. I will try and stream tomorrow. If something does crazily happen, then I'll be here. But yeah, you'll see me soon again going through all the transfer news and that. And Ben Jacobs should be back soon again as well. We'll get him on. We've got plans to come on as well. So, yeah, big up to you guys. Take care of yourselves. Enjoy your time. Go and check out that link that I was put in the chat as well, guys. But make sure you hit the likes before you leave here. Hit them likes and subscribe to both Chelsea Fan TV and GNA TV. Take care of yourself, guys, and we'll peace out. See you later.